Hello, this is John Squared, and today I will be reviewing the new 2018 LG Gram15 with the 8th generation ULV Kabylake. This is a refresh of the 2017 Gram and is entirely same save the processor, hence the model name of ZD975 and not ZD980. The laptop is incredibly light, clocking in at only 1.09 kilograms and is one of the lightest 15.6-inch laptops and lighter than many 13-inch models. The bezels are also very small, so the footprint of the laptop is very small for the size, but this comes at the expense of the webcam being at the bottom. There is a bit of deck flex and the screen flex is minimally, but it is to be expected when the laptop is this thin and light. The included 40-watt power brick is also very light, so this laptop has excellent portability. The build is of a magnesium alloy and it feels different from either plastic or aluminum. It still has the coolness of metal, but is a bit less smooth and sticks onto your fingers a bit more than aluminum. The white model that we have wasn't susceptible to fingerprints. The screen is mediocre at best. The brightness is average with 250 nits and contrast is great at 1000:1, but the color space coverage is limited at 80% of sRGB, and it only has a 6-bit color depth, meaning that it will show less colors than your standard 8-bit monitor. The lack of color depth will not be visible in many scenes, but in areas where there are a lot of dark areas or similar colors will show visible dither artifacts and color banding. LG's strange color calibration only limits the panel further, as it had a good color temperature out in the box, but a strange gamma curve. Bright colors have very low gamma, so lighter areas are desaturated. The gamma can be fixed with calibration, so we recommend you calibrate the display. We'll link the ICC profile below. However, the poor color depth and color space doesn't get any better with calibration. The I/O is good overall, especially for such a thin and light laptop. There are two USB 3.0, one USB 2.0, one USB-C, and a full-sized HDMI. This laptop has Intel 8th generation i5-8250U quad-core processor. The i5 ULV performs quite admirably for a laptop processor, although it does throttle a bit due to power and thermal limitations. In Syndec 15, the maximum score was 522 points, although after 5 to 6 consecutive runs, the score fell to 460 due to what seems to be thermal throttling. Firestrike physics test got 7500, and the CPU fluctuated at about 2.4 to 2.2 GHz due to power limitations. The CPU stabilized at about 80 degrees. This is about 50 to 60% faster than the previous generation i5-7200U and will be beneficial for situations such as Premiere encoding or CPU-intensive workload. With OCCT power stress test, the CPU will throttle to 1.2 GHz and temperatures fluctuated between 84 and 77 degrees. The UHC 620 graphics got 41 frames in the Cinebench R15 OpenGL test, and it seems to be bottlenecked by the single-channel RAM configuration of the 8GB base model. The memory can be upgraded to dual-channel with the laptop having a SODIMM slot, and this will speed up the integrated graphics. The laptop is completely silent in most cases since the fans not spin up under idle and light load. Even with heavy load, the laptop was very quiet at 37 dBA due to its low TDP parts and integrated graphics. There will not be a noise test due to the laptop being only a couple decibels over the ambient of my room. Due to its ultrabook nature, the keyboard has a low travel of 1.1mm. It does not require much force to press and is quiet due to there not being much key wobble. The low pressure threshold and travel may feel mushy for some, but is nonetheless a solid keyboard without any problems. There are 3 white backlight settings, and the backlight is more functional than stylish, as the backlights are only bright enough to be seen in dark settings. The right row of keys are a bit shorter than a standard keyboard to make way for the full-size numpad, and it is a compromise that many people will like. The trackpad is on the smaller size, and it seems to have a plastic surface. The trackpad is responsive, but due to its finish, it drags on your fingers a bit more than others. This may be important since people often use ultralight laptops without a mouse. The battery size is 60 watt-hours, which is average to good in this category. Coupled with an ULV Intel CPU, the battery life is very good, and for many cases, a charger will not be necessary. It got 6.5 hours in PC Mark 8 work test and 12 hours in 1080p video test, so will last a full workday in most cases. There is a battery life extension option which will limit your charge to 80% to decrease battery wear and increase battery lifespan. The speakers are horrible. The speakers are side and down firing, and there is a complete lack of bass and low mid, so it sounds incredibly tinny and treble heavy and is worse than many smartphone speakers. There is also a 10 decibel peak in 2 to 5 kHz areas, so it may sound piercing to your ears. There is a DTS surround setting for DSP, but it can only do so much to improve the quality of the speakers. For headphones, I recommend disabling DTS altogether as it introduces linear distortion in every setting. There will be a speaker test. In conclusion, the lackluster screen and poor speakers limits its potential as a media consumption device. However, being incredibly light with 8th Gen Intel ULV CPU and a 60 watt-hour battery which goes on for long, the Gram is a good ultra portable, offering solid performance in a compact form factor. All in all, the Gram is a good choice for people looking for a lightweight, long-lasting laptop for work or school. This was John Squared, and thank you for watching.